Well, g'day, curd nerds. G'day, curd nerds. Well, g'day, curd nerds. Well, g'day, curd nerds. Well, g'day, curd nerds. Well, g'day, curd nerds. There I am. And there you are. Thank you very much for joining us, the Cheeseman. This is episode 106. This is the Saturday show, of course. It's Saturday for me anyway. And don't know what it is for all you guys. Probably Friday. But anyway, shout out this morning to Simon Forsling. Thank you very much for your patronage. Simon has signed up over at Patreon to support the show financially. Now, if you want to do the same, then the links are in the description below. As well as there's no new YouTube members, but there are some YouTube members on the chat, which is fantastic. You can tell they're YouTube members by looking at their names, and they're in green, and they got a little cheesy icon after their name. And if you hover over the cheesy icon, it shows you how long they've been a member, which is fantastic. Thank you to all my YouTube members and all my current patrons. Okay, so kicking off the show, you would have seen this morning I released a video called Skiz, and there were some quite rude comments, so I deleted them, seeing this is a family-friendly channel. So, yeah, I fixed that up, but it's a lovely cheese, really nice, and very simple. If you use raw milk, it's only two ingredients, so milk and rennet. If you use pasteurized milk, then you got to add some calcium chloride to get the curd to set. But a really good cheese. So that's Skiz. So check that out. This coming Friday's video is going to be Crescenza. That's nearly ready to taste. So I'll be doing a taste test on that today, and I'll add that into the video. It's a soft cheese, fresh. Ish. It's been maturing for a week, which is fairly fresh, which is good. So that video will be released as well. Also, in production at the moment, it's still the stabilized paste bloomy rind. So that's a different form of camembert / brie type thing. So that'll be interesting. And spicy melty cheese is one I'm making today, especially for Kim. She's requested it. Also, I've got a big surprise. So, after many requests on the Wednesday show, just passed, they all asked me, well, not everybody, but some people asked me to smoke some cheese. So, I went out to my local hardware store, got myself a cold smoker. This is it. Cost me about $50 Australian. So you put sawdust stuff into it. And also I've got some smoker sawdust. So this one's hickory. It's pretty strong flavour. So it should go pretty well with some of the cheeses. Now, I haven't decided what cheese to put into it, of course, to be smoked. But yeah, it should be good fun, and that'll be a video coming up. I'm hoping to get that one filmed this weekend. So it's good to see Kim online. Thank you very much for turning up, honey. Had a bit of a problem. Someone cleared my cache and I had to sign in and couldn't remember my password. So I suppose that someone will be me trying to fix some of your IT issues, but that's okay, honey. Yeah, talk to the dog. She can help you out there. Okay, now, g'day to... We'll start the show, shall we? Well, g'day to Catherine. Catherine's got a question, but we'll get to that. G'day to Alex. G'day to Warren. Hakeem. Thomas. Joe. Alex again. Craig. G'day, Craig. He's just down the road. Nick. John. Lewis. Rudy. Warren. Can. Joe. Ooh, who else we got? David. Did I say David already? I'll say it again. Gabriel, sorry. And Richard, that's about it. Okay, so let's kick off with the questions. So keep them streaming in as I answer others, and we'll go from there. So, Catherine asks, "Hey Gavin, hope you have a good day." I'm having a great day. I just woke up. I wanted to know if you have separate fridges for ripening and maturing, or do you have them in the same fridge? Goodness me, we've got a super chat already. Um, Fantastic. Thank you for that. And that is from Brooke, $1. Thank you very much, Brooke. I really appreciate it. I'll get you a question right now. And there's your gold star for being a star. There you go. Is making a Merlot infused cheddar in process similar to your Guinness video? Yes, exactly the same. So give that a go. Anyway, back to Catherine's question. Ripening and maturing cheese is the same thing. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. For storing them for long haul, so yes, I mature the cheeses in one cheese fridge with an external thermostat, but once they're mature, I take them out of that fridge, so I don't want them to age anymore because they've got to the right flavour profile. I'll then move them into the kitchen fridge, just have them vac packed, or in plastic containers or what have you, vac packing mainly, just to store them for the long haul. And it slows down the maturation, and you have a nice cheese. Catherine also had a second question. It says, also, is it okay to use an aluminium pot for cheese making, or do I have to use stainless steel? Aluminium should be avoided because it imparts a metallic taste into the milk, which therefore indicates that there's heavy metals in your milk. So don't use aluminium, because when you heat the milk up, the aluminium leaches into the milk and it tastes yucky. So don't do it. Use stainless steel. At a pinch, you can use enamel. You can use glass, but glass tends to burn your milk. But stainless steel, it's available everywhere. You can get a big pot from any discount store. They're cheap as chips, so go and grab one. Alex, g'day. Warren says, "Good morning, Gavin. I'm new to the cheese making scene, and so happy that you have given me so much info. No problems at all. My pleasure." Question 1: have you ever done a sheep's milk cheese? Yes, I have. And if Kim can bring up the link for Pecorino Romano, or even real feta, which has 70% sheep's milk in it. So there's 2 sheep's milk cheeses I've made, which are very good. Question 2 is, are you able to infuse hemp into a cheese? Yeah, you could. There wouldn't be any hassle with that, I don't think. I'd dry the leaves first if you're not using the oil. And then if you have a look at probably the Sage Derby would be the closest sort of thing you could do with it. If you go to oh no, that's just infusing oh, it might work. Yeah, try Sage Derby, or go to my original Wensleydale video where I used dried sage leaves in the centre of it. You could do the same thing with hemp leaves. Okay, Hakeem says, always I ask about camel's milk cheese, please. From what I've read, Hakeem, is that camel's milk is very hard to make, a hard sort of cheese with. It doesn't have the protein structure that, say, cow's milk does. And really, I've also been told that you can only set camel's milk with camel's rennet. Don't ask me why, just apparently that's what it is. But you can make a good yogurt out of it. So you can make a yogurt cheese out of it. So like labna, or there are other terms for it, but it's a yogurt cheese. So you make yogurt, hang it through a butter muslin, let the whey drip off. It'll firm up a bit, and you got yourself a cheese. There is a labna video. You go check that out if Kim's got the link to it, and pop that up for Hakeem, please. Thomas says, hi Thomas. Joe says, Gavin, just a quick question. Do you know what the temperature range of Sacco MO30 is? Indeed I do. Let's go to monitor number 2 and we'll have a look, shall we? Here we go. All right, so Lifa, uh, Lyofast MO30 by Sacco. It's a strain of Lactobacillus lactis, subspecies lactis, and Lactococcus, Lactococcus lactis, subspecies cremoris. Yeah, its temperature range, that's its pH profile and time. So at the start, when you add it at 0 hours, the milk should be about, 6.4 pH. And over time, if you let it sit there for, say, 8 hours, it comes down to about 4.87 ish. All the way to down to 16 hours, it'll be at 4.5. Anyway, the question was temperature range. So it says the optimum temperature for growth for this culture is 22 to 34 degrees Celsius, and it'll die off at 43 degrees Celsius. So its capability, acidification capability, is 4.3, pH 4.3, and you store them below 17 degrees, which is what I do. Anyway, so very cool. So I've got all those sorts of specification sheets over at littlegreenworkshops.com.au, where we sell the cultures, and there's a specification link for most of the cultures. So I try and add that information there so people can ask me. Okay, Alex asks, as a general rule, how many days should a cheese be left in the cave/fridge after being made before vacuum sealing or waxing for further aging? Depends on the cheese, Alex. So it depends on if you're trying to create a natural rind. If you're trying to create a natural rind on the cheese, then you can leave it in the cheese cave, and to avoid any contamination with other cheeses and stuff, put in a ripening box, keep the humidity up. About a month, and you'll see that the rind firms up a fair bit. If you see any sign of cracking whatsoever, vacuum pack it straight away or wax it. So that'd be cool. Craig says, G'day, Craig. Nick says, what is cheese? Don't know if that's a rhetorical question, but it's a fermented milk product, basically. John says, wow, 2 cheesy mans in a week. I'm gaining weight. You don't have to eat cheese when you watch the show, John, crazy as it may seem. But but thank you for being here both Wednesday and Saturday. Very cool. Lewis, g'day, mate. How are you? Rudy says, thanks for the shout out today, Gavin. For those who missed it, if you go to the community tab of the channel or have a look on your feed on your iOS device on YouTube for my channel, then you may have seen a video I put up that Rudy made around making mac and cheese using my American cheese recipe. Very cool. Go and check it out. So yeah, I thought it was quite good little narrative, and he makes the mac and cheese to his kids' taste. I personally would have put some chilies or stuff in there, but looked pretty nice to me. Warren says, bet it's damn cold, so... Oh, sorry. I'll start again, Warren. It's damn cold here, so fingers not working as well as the brain. So he must be in the southern hemisphere, maybe, like me. That's why I'm wearing a kind of a jacket, but short sleeves. It's warm in the house because we've got double glazing and good insulation. And we don't have any heating in this house. The only heating, so we haven't got any gas furnaces or anything like that, because we try to make the house as comfortable as possible without using any energy. So during the day in my office, all I've got is the heat coming from my computer, and that keeps the room warm. So your computer's a good heater when you've got good insulation. Okay, Can says, greeting from Mexico. If I said hola, would that be right? So that's hello, I think, in Spanish. John says, not sure if it's good curd nerds or curd nuts. True. John says, I have my first cheese underway as we speak. Kafili, wish me luck. Well, good luck, Joe. Hope it turns out for you. Can says, thanks to you, I start to be a curd nerd. I like your blue cheese videos. Thanks, Can. I was going to make a Stilton remake. I don't know if I've got time to do it this weekend, but check out some of the other blue cheese ones. Especially the Petite Blue is very, very good. If Kim can throw a link up for that one, that would be excellent. That's a creation of my own, and and it turned out to be one amazing little cheese. I was very impressed with it. Anyway, cool. Alrighty. Where are we? Oh, David says, "Hi, Gavin. Saw an article this week about making cheese from belly button bacteria. I was wondering if you would give it a go." Crazy as it may seem, no, I don't think I'll be making cheese with belly button bacteria. Yes, I heard it's all the rage, and I thought the internet has just gone crazy. But yes, I suppose you could. It'd be the same as Brevibacterium linens, but that's, yeah, what it is. Gabriel said, "Hi, Gavin. Have you received my queso minis recipe?" I have, Gabriel. But because it includes raw milk, I don't know if I'll be able to. I'm going to try to track some down. I really do. I have to ask a sneaky favour of some of my dairy friends, see if I can get some raw milk, because I think a lot of the flavour is in the lactic bacteria that resides in raw milk other than pasteurised milk. So I'll have to get it pretty fresh. But thank you, Gabriel. I really appreciate your queso minis recipe from Brazil. Thomas says, "I want to make cheese, but I can't wait 3 months for the cheese to mature. Can you give me a list of cheeses that take less than a month?" Okay, off the top of my head, here goes. Ricotta, paneer, halloumi, skiz, crescenza, which is not out yet, but it will be soon. What else? Less than a month. Bel Paese, Kafili. There's some. There's a list. If I ever saw some. Plus all the soft cheeses, all done within a day or two, and usually ready. Cream cheese, beautiful. Sherv. Any Bloomy Goat Blue is one of the other ones I made. Petite Blue, even, I think that was 33 days, so close. So there you go. Alrighty, cool. Where are we? Right. Jim says, "Hello, I answered Brooke's question. That's fantastic." Thomas says, "I thought you were going to smoke cheese like a cigarette." You're funny. John says, "Provolone is a great cheese to smoke. The secret delicious way to use it is next to the crust in deep dish pizzas." Oh, thanks for that heads up. Ronnie says, "Hello." Hello, Ronnie. John says, "Wondering if you could smoke that skiz and have a very tasty, soft, fresh smoked cheese." It's a good idea. I've still got some of that left, John, so I might put that on the rack with some of the other cheeses. So I'm not going to smoke one cheese. I'm going to find a whole bunch of cheeses I've got sitting in the cheese cave and some in the fridge as well, and just smoke everything. Because, once you light the thing, it sits there and smokes. It says it smokes for 10 hours, so I don't know, I might do it for 3 or 4 hours. I'll put it into the hooded barbecue thing that I've got, and hopefully that'll get enough flavour and smoke into the cheese and stuff like that. John Possum says, "Hickory is actually quite mild compared to mesquite. It tends to go good with everything. I have a quart of hickory liquid smoke I've been using for years. Great on burgers in beans." Oh yeah, I've got some liquid hickory smoke as well, and I actually made a smoke flavored chowder as well, so that was pretty good. Vern says, "Can you put salt in the skiz after the rennet?" Yeah, you could. You could once it's been. So there's a couple of ways you could do it. You could brine it for about. I'd probably brine it for about 5 hours. Seeing it was about a kilo in weight. So in a saturated brine, 18 to 20% for 5 hours. That's one way to salt it. The other one, you could dry rub it as well. So you could salt that as well. John says, "Superb on almost any pork." I think he's talking about the liquid hickory smoke. Artie says, "Most difficult cheese name to pronounce." Oh, goodness me. I had trouble with Same on Cell, as It's not spelt that way. What's some of the other ones? Oaxaca, which is spelled Oaxaca or something like that. So Oaxaca. I'm having trouble with the Spanish sort of pronunciations. So there's a couple of perlas. If you use German pronunciation for skis, it would have been shits. So there's an unusual pronunciation, but it's an Italian cheese, and I've been told by the Google machine it's pronounced skiz, as Italians would pronounce it, not Germans. Okay, thanks for the link, Kim. Uh, Somebody from Greece. I'm not sure. I haven't translated the name, but hi to you. John says Aussie camel cheese milk expensive, hard to chase down in the desert than milk them. Yes, we have lots of feral camels in Australia's deserts. They were left over from when Afghan camel trains were used at the end of the 18th, end of the 19th century to take stuff across the deserts of Australia, and they let them loose, and now they breed like rabbits, and we've got camels everywhere, and they have to cull them to keep the numbers down so they don't wreck the native habitat for all the native animals. Anyway, Thomas says, hi, can you say hi to my dad? He's watching on the downstairs TV. G'day, Thomas's dad. Nice. I like that. I've been watching quite a bit of YouTube on my telly as well lately. It's a pretty good experience instead of, the phone size, watching YouTube on the phone. So much better going to watch it on the 4K telly, especially when, I've changed my video resolution lately. I don't know if you've noticed. It's pretty hard to tell on a phone, but if you've got a 4K telly, then you can watch most of my videos in 4K. Very cool. All right. Drew Dastardly says, for a super quick cheese, how are the cheese curds made for the famous dish of poutine? Okay. I don't know if Kim's done it, but if she can find the link to the squeaky cheese curds, you could pop that up. That would be fantastic for Drew Dastardly, and that's how you make cheese curds. Thanks for all the links, Kimmy. They're flowing well. Thank you very much. Michal says, hi, Gavin. Hi, Michal. It is a great question, Drew, and I agree that Brooke thinks it's a great question. So, yes, so there is a video on how to make squeaky cheese curds, and they were lovely. Don't put them in the fridge. Keep them squeaky. If you do put them in the fridge, heat them up in the microwave for about 30 seconds and they go squeaky again. So it's no big deal, really. Okay. Mikhail says, is it better to use culture, lemon juice, or a piece of bread to separate curds from whey? Sorry if this is arrogant. It's not arrogant. I don't think it's the right word, but as I'm new to cheese making. Mate, everybody starts, you got to start somewhere. So, Mikhail, it depends on the cheese you're making, honestly. I don't know about the piece of bread, but I've never heard that one used before. Might be an ethnic thing, but I'm not sure. But you can use culture, so you're making a lactic cheese, and that will curdle the milk. Lemon juice or vinegar, any sort of acid, will also curdle the milk. Also, rennet, of course, from the animal rennet comes from the fourth stomach of a ruminant, whether it be a calf, kid, or piglet, or lamb. So there's 4 ruminants to pick from. The main rennets come from. Or you can buy microbial rennet, liquid rennet, which works very well in a tablet form or liquid. And there are all ways of separating the curds from the whey. Drew says, I'm thinking it's like the Indian paneer, easy to make. It is fairly easy. There is a little bit of a process that goes with it to make squeaky cheese curds. Juan says, hola, Alex. I don't know if they're mates or something. Must be happening there. Lewis says, g'day, Gavin. G'day, Gav. Getting very familiar there. Wondering if I leave raw milk out for a few days for cultures to grow, does the fact that it has both meso and thermo change it? Will it come out similar to the recipe using cultures? Good question, Lewis. So, what you'd have to do with your raw milk, you should leave it out at room temperature, and I would check the pH of when you first get it. If it's above 6.8, then it's normal fresh milk. You will then start to see the pH drop fairly rapidly. When it gets down to 6.4, then you'll know there's been some lactic bacteria development, which is great. Then heat the milk up to the normal temperature, add to rennet, bingo boingo, you got your cheese. So that's probably a good way. So make sure you keep track. If it gets too sour, so if it drops down to 5, you're going to have a difficult time making cheese out of it. So make sure it doesn't drop below, say, 6.4 at that initial stage before you add the rennet. Your mesophilic and thermophilics in the cheese will give you a unique taste to your local cheese that you're using from local raw milk. So give it a go. Bloody, I think that's how you pronounce it. Were you thinking about making Oski Peck? I think that's how you pronounce it. Oski Peck? Maybe that's not how. I think it's a Polish cheese. No, I wasn't thinking of making it, but I am now. I'll put it on the list. Doesn't guarantee that it's going to get made, mind you, but it's on my ideas list of cheeses to make. But thank you very much, Bloody. Craig says, I used some of your American cheese on a homemade steak sandwich last night, and mate, it was fantastic. Thanks for the video. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it. And I see Craig is making lots, not making, he's making lots of cheese. I stalk him on Facebook. Good on you, mate. But he actually runs some home cheese making classes, which is very cool. I think you do a 3 cheese class, and I think the name of your Facebook page is Edible Gardens. I'm not sure. It's just search for Craig. You'll find him on the Facebook. Kim's whacking up links. Thank you very much, Kim. Bloody says it's a smoked cheese made of salted sheep's milk that originated in the Tatra Mountains. Very cool. PGLT Drew, I'll just call you Drew, says, new subscriber here. Thanks for the video series, sir. My favourite is the triple pepper jack. Yeah, it was my favourite until I tasted it, mate, I tell you. Whew, it was hot. Vern says, is this working? Yes, I suppose it is. Tiffany says, hello from Texas, USA. I found your channel through Deep South Texas channel and love your videos. Would like to start making cheese someday myself. Thank you, Tiffany. Appreciate it. Yeah, Larry is a great character. I don't know if he's on the chat. He's not on the chat today. I haven't seen him anyway, but he was on Wednesday. But yeah, he does some great little homestead self-sustainability sort of videos over there. Some great veggie. He's got a great veggie patch as well, which is I'm envious because the chickens have dug up my veggie patch at the moment. I'm waiting till spring. I'm letting all the garden beds go fallow this year, and then I'm going to plant up a whole bunch in spring, which will be really nice. Artie says, how do you avoid smelling like cheese if you deal with it on the daily? Well, that's probably more of a question for Kim. Kim, do I smell like cheese? And you can answer me in the chat, obviously, my darling. I hope I don't. I think I wash myself better than that. But yeah, I don't think I do. I don't deal with cheese daily. I do them, so I might do 3 recipes in a weekend, and that's it. And then we work at Little Green Workshops and sell kits and send all the stuff out for everybody. So I don't make cheese all the time. Anyway, okay. Drew says belly button bacteria. Some people are suffering from omphaloschesis, skepsis. Righto. I'm going to have to look that word up. I'm terribly sorry. Let's have a look. It's navel gazing. There you go. Very nice. I love that. Halfway up the hill said, I wish I had a cow so I could have some real milk. Me too. Just don't have the land for it, but it will be nice. Be nice to have a local supply of raw milk, whether it be from a sheep, goat, or cow. I wouldn't care. It would be nice. Okay, so where am I up to? George says, Hi, Gavin. Please make blue ricotta salada. I want to make it, but I'm always afraid when it comes to mold. I think if you go and have a look at my pecorino ricotta salada video, you'll see it had a lot of blue mold on it. Probably if I just pierced it, it would have turned into a blue cheese. I think it would have been quite nice. Junkus, I think that's how you pronounce it, says, I shall be smoking cheddar tomorrow. Oh, very nice. I might be too. Depends if it stops raining or not today. Looks like we've got a bit of blue sky outside, but we'll see. Ronnie says, found your channel last week and started making cheese this week. Well done, newbie curd nerd. Kudos to you. Jim says, G'day Gav, g'day Kim. It's a beautiful day for the semi-weekly meeting of the curd nerds. Kind of is, isn't it? I like that. That's very good. It's I love the community we have here. You know, when I talk to the camera, I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. I can actually see, in my mind's eye, of course, a room full of people, and we're having a conversation. It's really good. It really does make me feel good. Jin Rose says, how long can you store various cheeses in backpack in the kitchen fridge? Well, I've got some in there that have been there for a year, maybe 2 years, and they're still okay. So, yeah, look, I don't know. As long as it doesn't get mold infected, it'll be fine. Cheese is cool stuff. It's like Milk's, and I can't remember who said it, Milk's Immortal Leap. So it goes from milk that spoils within 5 days, straight out of a cow, of course, to something that lasts a long, long time. So, if you've got the patience, you can leave them there for a long time. I'm talking years. So, yeah. Paul. Hello, Paul. Careful how long you're going to smoke your cheese. Try 1 or 2 hours and work up. It's easy to over-smoke it and can turn out very sharp and acidic. Okay. Well, being a newbie smoker, I'll take your advice. I think the smoker goes for a long time, so what I'll do, say, a 2-hour burst on some cheese and taste it, and if it needs to be smokier, then maybe leave it in. I'll have to play it by ear, but we'll get a video going on that, and we'll see what happens. It'll be out in the outdoors. I won't be smoking indoors, no, it'll be outdoors. David says, my first cheese was blue and tasted great once the rind was cut off, as it smelt slightly of ammonia. What was that? That was ammonia. It gets created by the Penicillium roqueforti when you don't have enough oxygen in the container. In fact, I experienced that this week. If you remember back to, oh goodness me, the canned blues that I made, they tasted amazing. They were great. They didn't get very much white mold, but it was a great little blue cheese. Well, as an experiment, I left them in my cheese cave in my ripening box, and I forgot to turn them for 3 weeks. And what happens when you don't turn blue cheese is that you get a build-up of ammonia in the ripening box, and then the ammonia starves the oxygen that's required for the blue cheese, and that dies. So the Penicillium roqueforti dies off. But what does love ammonia is red mold. So Brevibacteria linens kind of thrives and makes it exceptionally stinky. So that's why every week you're supposed to turn your cheese and wipe out the ripening box and then turn it, pop it back in the cheese cave, because that provides a bit more oxygen for the blue cheese. And any carbon dioxide and ammonia that gets produced gets taken out of the box by you flapping it around and stuff like that. Excuse me. Oh. So that's what happens. You get an ammonia buildup. So before you eat your blue cheese, then just let it air for a little bit and all the ammonia goes away and it tastes beautiful. Okay, Lice Dog says, hi Gavin, I really like your Saturday morning live since it's my cheese making day. It's got to be my cheese making day too. I've got to do a little bit of work for Kim. Not for Kim, with Kim. We're partners. But yeah, we will be. I'll be doing some cheese videos today. So a couple of taste tests and finishing off some intros and outros and stuff like that. That'll be good fun. John says, to the above belly button bacteria question, one wonders if bacteria linens was taken from old socks or toe skmoo. Yes. Well, I heard a rumor. I don't know if this is true or not, but here's a rumor for you. It's an old tale that when Trappist monks who first made washed rind cheeses, which are cheeses with brevibacterial linens, one of them accidentally dropped his sock in the milk, and that's what happened. The red mold kept growing, and they kept wiping it, trying to get rid of it, and it smeared all over the cheese. And there you go. So that's what I heard on the interwebs. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But Trappist monk socks, smelly feet, all that sort of stuff. That's where brevibacterial linens comes from. It's a bacteria that lives on humans. Okay. Drew says squeaky cheese, lol, we'll look it up. Yep, indeed. David, the second cheese I made was blue, made from the culture, frozen. What? Culture. I froze in an ice cube tray and then turned out as a mild taste, soft spreadable cheese bit with no blue vein and with consistency of Borson. It was lovely. It's a great serendipitous, not to mention discovery. So, yeah, all cheeses don't always turn out how you want them to, but they are unique in their own special way. The Op channel says, I love you. Thank you very much. Joe says, hi, Gavin. I've been enjoying your channel for a while. I've always been curious. What's your favourite cheese? Either to make or to eat. I love all the cheeses, so there's none that I prefer. They're all good in their own special way. Every cheese is different. Every cheese is amazing. To make maybe a different thing. Let me think. I do like the cheddaring process. There's something relaxing about it. I don't like making cheeses that the recipe states there's a lot of handling. It's not for me, especially during affinage, during the maturing process. It's a pain in the bottom. I've got so many cheeses on the go. It's very hard to remember when to turn this cheese, when to turn that cheese. My calendar's a full book already, and maturing. I like to cheese, air dry, vac pack, throw them in the cheese fridge, turn them every week. That's what I like to do. But so I've got some unfavourite cheeses. Favourite ones are all the others, so that's cool. Kim says, whenever you make cheese, I never notice you smelling cheesy. Thanks, honey. I appreciate it. I think that was in reference to if you're handling cheese all day, do you smell like cheese? There you go. Kim's done something with Artie there. I don't know what was going on, but it's between Kim and Artie. Thank you very much, though, honey. Lewis says, if you do get a cow or other milk-making animal, please make some tutorials on the care of it, milking, etc. I'm sure some curd nerds will be interested, including myself. Indeed, but I just don't have the land. I'm on a suburban block. We don't have much room at all, unless they want to live in the swimming pool, but I don't think cows and goats and sheep. I don't know, maybe I'll get a dolphin and we can milk that. We'll have dolphin cheese, but not sure. I don't know what Holly's doing back there. Go back to sleep, Holly. Holly the cheese dog. You've probably seen her on some videos. Joe says, hi again, Gavin. While I'm waiting for the clean break, I wanted to ask another question, if I may. Is vac packing a direct substitute for waxing of cheeses? Yes, it is. Anything you can wax, you can vacuum pack. Maybe with the exception of, say, Havarti. Very soft cheese. If you vac pack it, it goes very flat. If you wax it, it doesn't. What's another one I prefer to wax? Um, Edam and Gouda would be the same. I would. They're very soft, so yeah, I would vacuum pack. I would not vacuum pack them. I would wax them. Those soft cheeses from the Netherlands. Havarti's from Denmark, but the other two are from the Netherlands. Fern says, could I please get a link for the American cheese? Kimmy's done that. Thank you, Kim. BB says, the quality is outstanding. Not sure by what you mean, the quality of the videos or the cheese. I would hope that both are fairly good. I do like them. I think you might be talking about the 4K video thing I was talking about before. Okay. Where are we? Paul says, hi, Gavin. Wondered if it was possible for you to make a cheese from hundreds of years ago and see what it compares to modern recipes. Yeah, that's a good idea. Old school cheese making. Just writing that down so I don't forget. That is a good idea. We'll see what I can come up with. I've got some books that are like 1850 or something like that, obviously in PDF form, but they do have some cheese recipes. I'll have to make sure that they're up to modern food safety standards before I make them, but I think most of them would entail using raw milk, so I'll have to see what I can do there. Vern says, thank you, Kim. No problems at all. That's Kim's doing links, which is great. Thank you, Kim. You're such a good producer slash moderator, or the Terminator, as you like to call yourself. Catchphrase Cam says, hello from Florida, Gav. I was wondering if there is a conversion rate when using lemon juice or vinegar instead of rennet, or is it the same quantity for both? I think people are getting confused. But a good question, Catchphrase Cam. Where a cheese calls for rennet, use rennet. Do not use lemon juice or vinegar. You will not get the same texture. It will be pretty crappy, actually. And where a recipe calls for lemon juice or vinegar, use that. Don't use rennet. It won't be the same texture. Two different things, two different ways to coagulate. One's acidification of the curds, of the milk, which turns into curds and whey, but a different structure than what using rennet is. And it's a different chemical formula on how it actually sets. So both break the bonds of the milk into a solid, but they do it in different ways and give you different textures and flavors. So there is no substitute. Don't substitute them at all. However, you can substitute lemon juice for vinegar, if that makes sense, and vice versa. Both being acids, they'll give you different flavor profiles in your cheese as well. Okay, Warren says, what press would you advise for larger wheels? I have seen, if you can't fit it into, say, the press that I use, which is for, say, between 800 gram and probably 1.5 kilo, or what would it be for milk-wise? Between 8 litres of milk and 12 litres of milk is usually what I use in my recipes, and they fit in the mould that I use and fit in the press that I use. I wouldn't go any higher than, say, 12 for full cream milk or whole milk and 14 litres for skim milk. It wouldn't fit in the press. However, I have seen there are many press. I actually did a do-it-yourself press video, so I don't know if Kim can find that, if she hasn't already. If you can find the link, honey, to the video on do-it-yourself cheese presses. There are some amazing cheese presses that the cheese making community have made, and I did a little bit of an expose. There's no plans or anything, but you'll get some general ideas on how to make presses to press larger volumes of cheese. So yeah, pretty cool. Okay, great question, Warren. Thanks for that, mate. Lice Dog says, in Civ 6, It's not a Civ 6 channel. Which culture are you playing the most? I would like to play with you. I've stopped playing Civ 6. It was too addictive. So, sorry, Lice Dog, I'm not doing it. I'm currently playing, if you really want to know, Anno 1800, Dawn of Man, and Company of Heroes 2. There's 3 games for you that tickle my fancy. Okay. Where are we up to? John says, wondering whether the Aussie mice in the neighbourhood come running when Gavin is making cheese and sit in the ranks on the patio waiting for a crumble. No, probably not. I know a lady who likes to sit around and watch me make cheese. She might be the moderator, may or may not be the moderator of this channel. But yeah, enough said, I think. Greg says, hi, Gavin. I've made beginner's cheese and want to make more difficult cheeses, but I'm intimidated by the upfront cost. Any advice how to make cheese press and cheese cave on a student budget? Craigslist. There are cheesemakers who stop making cheese, believe it or not. Don't know why you would, but yeah, there are. And they do sell their stuff either on Craigslist, eBay, Gumtree if you're in Australia, which is like the Craigslist type thing. And you can pick up some fairly cheap cheese making equipment from people who no longer want it. Also, if you're in the US, if you go to New England Cheesemaking Supply, I think they have an ad section where people get rid of their old cheese making stuff. So you can check that out as well. So there's a couple of ideas, but there are many ways to make molds out of food-safe plastic containers, and you can make your own press out of handy woodworking stuff if you're into that sort of stuff. But regardless, the cultures, you can get away with a few things you can buy in the store. So, like for a thermophilic culture, you could use a yogurt. In fact, in the upcoming Crescenza video, I actually use a tangy style yogurt to make that cheese as the starter culture. So that's pretty cool. And you can use cultured buttermilk as mesophilic culture. And that works well. I did that in my triple pepper jack. I used a mesophilic starter culture. And that worked well as well. But yeah, and besides the milk, if you can get a cheap supply of milk, which you can do these days if you know a dairy farmer, then get into it. But lots of ways. Think outside the square. Drew says, favourite cheese are like dogs, they are all good. Perhaps Kasu Marzu is the illegal fighting pit bull of the cheese world. That's a good analogy. Very good. Special 30AU says, Gav, great show again. Love your videos. They are very helpful. Thank you. P.S. It took me a while to realise that you don't have a freaky hairstyle. It's the plant leaves behind your chair. Yes, it is a plant. There we go. It's a plastic plant that Kim likes to put in my office to make it look nice. But yeah, it's not a freaky hairstyle. I could make it look. Hang on, let me get it right. There we go. Look at that. I've got a little tufty on my head. Very cool. That's funny. John said, I will have to check my Prepper University of old books, 1400s to 1900s, and check for any cheese making books and forward to Gavin. That would be great, John. Really appreciate it. I think you've got my email address, so for those who don't, you can pop over to Little Green Cheese, and there's a contact me page, so use that. That works. Don't ask me any urgent questions via that because I just won't get to them in time. This is funny. This is between me and the community. I get questions, at least 4 or 5 every weekend, where people are halfway through the cheese making process, send me an email and expect an answer. Honestly, I've got a life. Don't expect instant free answers for cheese making questions when you're halfway through making a cheese. Unfortunately, that's not the time to ask questions. Beforehand is a good thing. Watch a few videos maybe, but I don't know. Anyway, maybe it's the internet because everything's always on. I'm not always on, unfortunately. I try to be, but not always. Drew says the rennet thing. It's about vegetarian veganism, isn't it? Rennet is from animals. Yes, rennet originally did come from animals, but there is very, very good microbial rennet, and I prefer to use it. Not because I don't want to slay a calf all the time, but that's just what happens in the dairying industry. Not much you can do about that. They only milk the girls, not the boys. So the boys have got to go somewhere. Um, so yeah, it is. It's not really. The flavour is kind of the same. Animal rennet does impart a different flavour to cheese than, say, microbial rennet, but there's not a heck of a lot of difference, honestly. I've tried both. Um, Catchphrase Cam says, thanks, I'm just starting out. Thanks for the explanation. No problems. Down to where Kim's banning people. That's cool. Do it yourself cheese press. Thanks for the link there, Kim. Lice Dog says, I play Company of Heroes as well, but I'm really bad. Cheese question. Good. How much cheese should I use as a starter culture to copy cheese without knowing the culture used, like in raw milk cheese from Europe? Ah, right. So this is a bit of a misnomer. Some people. I need to see some neon. Right. Who was that? Who's doing? Oh, Siri, stop it. Just make me go the curd lamp. There we go. There we go. And that's a lucky star for Paul. Thank you very much for that super chat, Paul. Appreciate your $4.99. $4.99 super chat. Thanks, mate. That was funny. Yeah, sorry, misnomer. Back to Lice Dog's question. You cannot use bits of cheese to use the lactic bacteria that's in the cheese. It dies. And when it dies, it leaves behind enzymes. And the enzymes that are left, they break down the fats and the proteins in the cheese and make the flavors that we know and love. That's what they're there for. That's what they do. They're dead. You cannot make them alive again by adding them to milk. However, that's different from molds. So we're not talking lactic bacteria, we're talking molds now. So molds like Penicillium roqueforti. Yes, you can use a little bit of Penicillium roqueforti from another cheese and inoculate your milk. It works. I've tried it. Same as Penicillium candidum. You can take a little bit of the white mold and you can culture it on bread, and then you can put it into, crumble that up and put it into your milk. That works as well. But you cannot use a starter culture again. Milk, raw milk, naturally has the lactic bacteria in them. So if you're using raw milk, they're already in there. Okay, they're already, from as soon as it comes out of the teat, it is acidifying your milk. It's just a part of the rotting of milk process. And that's what cheese is. It's controlled rotting of milk. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so hope that answered your question. Varley says, hey, Gavin, lots of respect from Brit in German. From Brit, right, a Brit in Germany. Always loved cheese and thought about making it. Great videos, keep them going. Thanks, Varley, appreciate it. I really do. Donna says, when making a cheese such as Camembert, I wonder if using a cold whole milk from grocery that date is 4 days past use by date is worth trying. No milk from the grocery store past the use by date is worth trying. Pasteurization kills off the lactobacteria. We know that as a fact. When they put the use by date on the milk, it's when the milk starts to get bacteria that are harmful to you. Do not use milk that is past its use by date if it has been pasteurized. Safety warning. There we go. In big lights. Safety warning. There we go. I don't use milk that's been pasteurized past its use by date to make cheese. I did that one. All right. Please don't. Okay. Junkus says 2 to 4 hours. I find fine for 2.5 kilo. I'm using oak. Okay, we're talking about smoking again. Okay, 2 to 4 hours for a 2.5 kilo piece. So if I do a kilo piece, then that would be 1 to 2 hours. That would work, I think. Okay, Cassidy says, "Hey Gav, just wondering what you use as a cheese cave. Love your videos." Kim, if you can put the link to quickly, if because it's only 5 minutes to go, quickly to the cheese cave or cheese fridge video, that would be great. Heaven sent, lol. Gav, what is your day job? I'm genuinely curious to know the real you. Yeah, Kim says we have an online business, and we teach as well, but are having a break this year. Yes, we are having a break from teaching this year. We will be teaching again next year. Although I do have a online course over at courses.littleringworkshops.com.au for cheese making. It's called the Curd Nerd Academy. So we do have courses online as well. Yeah, so we have an online retail store. We sell not only cheese making stuff, but soap making, candle making, bath and body, or brewing supplies, preserving supplies, all that sort of stuff. Do it yourself, home stuff, which is great. Kim does the beauty side of it and the cosmetic-y side of it, and I do the brewing and the cheese side of it. So we have complementary skills. And during the week, we're packing orders and shipping them off. That's what we do for a living, as well as doing cheese videos and soap videos on our other channel, which is Little Green Workshops channel. So yeah, some cool sorts of things we're doing. Okay, Kim's given me the wind up. I think she is. Yes. Donna says, "Sorry, Gavin. 4 days before the use date, worth trying. 4 days before, yes, I would use it. That'll be fine. After, refer to the previous rant." Okay, Joe just quickly says, "Great to see someone making cheese at home. Love the videos. Thanks for great work." Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Okay, so thank you all for watching the show today on Saturday, the Saturday version of Ask the Cheeseman. Without your questions, it wouldn't have been much of a show. I enjoyed it. Got a lot of lols out of that one. And it was good fun imparting the information that I kind of know up here. And now Kim's been on to me, as well as many fans, to finish my second book. And I think last episode we said why that's kind of on hold at the moment. We're just trying to get Ben healthy again, and due to this blood disorder he's got. But I've got to set some time aside to finish this book off. It's so many recipes. It's a great book. So this is the second one after Keep Calm and Make Cheese, the Beginner's Guide to Cheese Making Home. So this is volume 2. This is Keep Calm and Make More Cheese, which is Kim's working title. It works quite well, I think. Anyway, so there's only 2 minutes to go. So don't forget to visit littlegreenworkshops.com.au for all your cheese making needs. We ship all over the world, so don't be scared. And they all get there quite well. I've never had anybody complain about their cultures not working. So we wrap them up very nicely, and they survive the trip. Don't forget to, if you want to, you can support via YouTube memberships. There's a join button below on the video somewhere, and over at patreon.com. And there's links in the description below somewhere too to support, and you'll get perks like early access to videos, and you'll get there are tiers within Patreon as well, and you get a cool icon next to your name if you are a YouTube member. So there's some of the perks you get for membership. And don't forget the merch store. We got Certified Curd Nerd. That's my favourite t-shirt for the day. Cups. Oh, we got everything. It's all there. Pop over to the merch shelf down below in the video, and you'll see all that as well. You can get all that good gear down there. Well, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds. Appreciate it, and we'll see you on Wednesday. I'm hoping to release maybe one taste test this week. We'll see how we go. But definitely Friday's video will be, or Friday or Saturday's video will be Crescenza, which is a very interesting Italian cheese. That'll be pretty good. Alrighty, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and I'll see you next time. Last Holly cam. Bye, Holly. See you, Holly.